Ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at is a magnetic knife sheath made from scraps from the last 2 or 3 projects I had. One of them was discarding an old set of speakers, which is what you are looking at there, the speaker frame, which is part of the magnetic lock on the Gerber knife. There's another bar magnet where those 2 bolts protrude from the perforated metal. There's a 3.5-inch bar magnet that runs along the blade. And originally I had the knife in the original Gerber sheath, which was plastic, but that can't be replaced. So you'd have to buy a new knife and a new sheath. And the cheapest I saw one was $185 plus shipping, so it would be about $215 to get the sheath to the Philippines, but understanding that that sheath would also be it's from 1980, this blade, this Gerber, so I've had it for a long time. So what I did was took that speaker frame and had Daisy fold and roll some metal to make a belt, a loop, like a belt loop. Okay, Daisy, you hold the bottom of the frame, that's right. And I'll show you the belt loop itself. Okay, let it go. Okay, so you can see the belt loop goes through. That's for a 2.25 inch wide belt, or you have just behind through the speaker frame itself. If you had a narrower belt, you could put it through the speaker frame. So the epoxy is to keep any kind of, this had like a razor sharp edge where I had cut it and reworked it while I was rebuilding an oil filter for a Mitsubishi Traco. These are some of the pieces, and what you see around the knife is the rest of the scraps from this inner core, which was originally inside this oil filter. Now this magnetic sheath has, all right, you hold the bottom, Daisy. The magnetic sheath, okay, you hold the bottom of, yes, with 2 hands you're going to have to hold it. Okay, because, okay, like that. Okay, so now just hold it with 1 hand. Okay. I can actually pick up Daisy's hand with this knife because it has about 7 pounds of magnetism holding it. Now, okay, hold it again. Okay. Now that magnet is about 2 inches in diameter, and then there's a bar magnet at the bottom there. Okay, now if you wanted to lock it further, there's very little friction up here at the top, but if you wanted to lock it further, I put a piece of tape on there that when you get it to the base, just smack it down another 1/4 inch, and that, it's just the cheapest masking tape I had, and it's just a piece of masking tape, and that would give it further friction. Now this knife is going to eventually go onto this tool belt that I bought in 1973. When I was in high school, I bought this belt. Now the original belt, the fabric just completely disintegrated in the last couple of years. It's just dust. So Daisy and I took a needle and some industrial grade polypropylene sewing line, about 100-pound test, and we attached it to this buckle, which is from an S&H diving center. Here it is, right there. S&H San Diego. Whatever that is, whatever S&H was. And you can see we sewed this up in many places, and I put another tang back here. Daisy, give me my ruler, please, my green ruler, if we have it up there, or a red one. And it's in those drawers over there, right? No?
What? Go here, oh.
Okay. Hold that belt. I put a metal tang on here in the back also with bolts so that the ruler clips on to the back with the clip that's standing in the back of the ruler. So I modified the belt as well. So without further ado, this is the end product, and once I finish this video I will pull this off of here and just grind down that epoxy smooth, and there you go. I saved $185. This total amount of work here was probably 2.5 to 3 hours had I just done it all at once without stopping, and then another probably 3 or 4 hours thinking about how to create a magnetic sheath from materials that I had around the shop. And it just came to me one day that I could use the magnet from the speaker, but I had not originally thought about using the speaker frame. I was going to actually glue that magnet into a leather pouch, but this works much better. Now, this might not be for everybody, but it works well for me. And I left these 2 bolts long so I could put a loop around here, which is going to hold the tie wire basket for tying steel. Also, I want to tell you something about other tools in the Philippines. See these rivets? Well, they should work. They work with what's called a pop rivet. Well, the pop rivet gun I bought didn't have any jaws in it. It's brand new. Out of the box, I opened it up, and it didn't have any jaws in it. So Daisy and I pulled the stem of the rivets out, and I used some aircraft grade aluminum washers, and then tapped it down on the man vice anvil. Now there's another speaker that I had originally wanted to use, but I found that bar magnet from an antique cabinet. So I think I've discussed everything long enough for you to understand that it can be done, but you might need some tools, including a man vice, that may not be so readily available. And even if it was, you'd need a man to operate the man vice. So this is Michael Fazio, and
This is me.
let me see that beautiful face. Guapa ka. In the Philippines, baby. That's right.